Hi, Rayne. How you doing? Okay, I got your work up. Thanks so much for submitting. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is take you over to the course announcements, and this is really super important. Let's jump over here. This is the course announcement. I just kind of want you to notice right here, in between the day the class started and today, I've got 6 announcements in here. So as you can see, I populate this quite often. These 4 announcements right here, from welcome to week 1 to welcome to week 2, these 4 announcements are extremely important in the understanding and expeditious execution of assignments 1 and 2, banana and fire and ice. Now, the reason I see this as significantly important is because I ran a report yesterday. I don't know if you got my email I sent out yesterday. If you didn't, go ahead and check it out. But I ran a report yesterday, Friday, and I have discovered that not all students have been looking at the announcements. The fascinating thing is the students that have been looking at the announcements are doing significantly better in grading than the students that haven't. So the reason I think this is so important is I really implore you to come in here and take a look at all of these announcements and be sure to review these announcements as we move through the class. Welcome to Week 2 announcement has 4 videos in it. And those videos show you exactly how to kern the phrase fire and ice. So I definitely want you to get in there and take those tutorials. I promise your performance will be better in the class. It can't not. You see what I'm saying? So be sure to get in there. Okay, so in this Welcome to Week 2 announcement, there's that video that's called How to Kern Fire and Ice. And within that, there's this file right here. This is a file that I've created for fire and ice. And I spent a lot of time here just getting this perfect. And the reason I did that is so that we can use it for comparison in your assignments. So feel free to go ahead and take a screenshot of this so that you have it for reference when you do your final iteration. But let's go ahead and take a look. I think the very first thing we see is that baseline is not level. And I'm going to tell you what, Rayne. Now, this is our 3rd fire and ice assignment and our 3rd out of 4th. That baseline has got to be perfectly level. That's your foundational cornerstone of the success of this entire project. Without a level baseline, the letters won't be scaled correctly and won't be placed correctly. So we just can't achieve what we're after without that level baseline. So that's first and foremost. Then, of course, you need to establish your mean line and your cap lines. Now, I think your letter forms are okay, but remember craft is of significant importance. So in other words, I would get in here and trace these out as opposed to trying to draw them. I'm not real sure if you did trace them or if you just drew these by looking at them. But at any rate, let's go ahead and take a look at craft. So yeah, you definitely want these. All of your stems, your stroke widths all seem to be really super thick. And I think that's clearly indicated right here in this, this vertical stem for the capital F. So you take a look at that and just look how fine and detailed that is through here. Your serifs are basically triangles where these are bracketed and tapered. So they have that nice round curve, and we want to depict that and really get these letter forms to a point where they're exact. Now, if we look at what we call overshoot, overshoot was covered in week 2. Now, overshoot indicates or dictates that curved letter forms should sit above below the baseline and above the mean line and or cap line for capital letters. And the reason that, and you can see that right here, and if I zoom in a little bit more, we can clearly see that capital E, see that it overhangs a little bit above the mean line, a little bit below the baseline. And we can see that with portions of the R, portions of the I, and these are all on the mean lines. And then the mean line and cap line is the A, mean line and baseline, mean line, and then mean line and baseline here. And then curved letters are mean line and baseline. And then we do have that ascender for ice. Now I noticed that you used a lowercase I on ice. You want to use that uppercase I that I have included in the document. Okay, so you want to represent overshoot. You want to depict overshoot in your final example. And it's really important that you get that X height to be accurate. I'm sorry, the mean line based on the X height. So as we can clearly see, this letter here, E, is just significantly smaller than the other letters. And the reason that is because the mean line has not been placed accurately. So once you get that baseline placed, you want to place the mean line by kind of placing one of those lowercase letters over the mean line, seeing where it sits, making a mark, and doing the same thing on the other end. This is all covered in these videos. I really describe to a very high degree how to execute the assignment. So what you want to do is you just want to shoot for craft. You want to get those letter forms to be as perfect as possible. Shoot for a perfectly level and perfectly level baseline. So when I say level, I mean level to the picture plane, the page itself, and then make sure that mean line and cap line are also perfectly parallel and perfectly level. Once you place your letters, make sure that they're traced out to a high degree of accuracy, and let's go ahead and watch your spacing. Fire isn't spaced at all. This looks like 4 letters as opposed to one word fire. And is okay, and then ice I think is okay, but the space between the C and the E is much too great. Right now you've got these open counters on the lowercase e and the lowercase a. You remember from week 1 we were taught that open counters create an optical illusion, making that space look larger than it is. So you want to accommodate for that optical illusion by bringing that spacing a little bit closer together. If the space between the E and the A is identical to the space between the D and the I, this space is going to appear to be bigger because of those open counters and that increased surface area associated therein. What you do to combat that is to just bring that a little bit closer. Okay, those are my recommendations moving forward. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if I can provide any necessary clarifications, please let me know, Rayne, and I'll be more than glad to do so. Okay, great. Looking forward for your final iteration, and thank you very much.